Hey everyone, it's your favorite wiener dog and host of Pearl's Barkhives, Pearl. Today I bring you the third episode of our Barkhives Marathon, where we are talking about all things history dealing with the U.S. Today we are exploring the history of Connecticut and Massachusetts, so let's jump in and see what these states have to offer. The area now known as Connecticut saw its first inhabitants arrive more than 10,000 years ago. By the 16th century, various Native American tribes lived there and resided in settled villages, cultivated crops, and engaged in trade. In the early 1630s, settlers from Massachusetts established the towns of Windsor, Wethersfield, and Hartford. The Fundamental Orders of Connecticut of 1638 and 1639 are considered the first written constitution in America, giving the state its nickname, the Constitution State. The colony received a royal charter in 1662 from King Charles II. During the American Revolution, which lasted from 1765 to 1783, Connecticut was a key supplier of provisions, munitions, and shipbuilding to the Continental Army and the Connecticut Militia, thanks to its strategic location and robust manufacturing and farming capabilities. On January 9, 1788, Connecticut ratified the U.S. Constitution, becoming the fifth state of the original 13 colonies to join the Union. Indigenous people have been farming, fishing, hunting, and gathering in the land now known as Massachusetts for at least 10,000 years. The Massachusetts tribe, Ponkapog, for whom the state was named, were the area's first residents. Members of the Wampanoag tribe once lived in more than 67 communities across southeastern Massachusetts and eastern Rhode Island. The Nipmuc tribe occupied the interior parts of what is now Massachusetts, as well as parts of Rhode Island and Connecticut. The first settlers in the state, now known as Massachusetts, were the Pilgrims. They arrived in Plymouth on the Mayflower in 1620 after separating from the Anglican Church and fleeing England, creating the Mayflower Compact as the foundational set of rules for self-government in the New World. They were the second group of British settlers to arrive in the New World, after the first colony was founded in Jamestown, Virginia in 1607. After a harsh winter that claimed the lives of half of the Mayflower's original immigrants from England in 1620, the Wampanoag tribe taught the Pilgrims to plant corn and survive in the wilderness. In November of 1621, the Pilgrims organized a harvest feast in Plymouth to celebrate their first successful crop, an event widely regarded as America's first Thanksgiving. Contrary to popular belief, the Wampanoag people weren't invited. Instead, they arrived after hearing gunfire and fearing war. After being told it was a harvest celebration, the Wampanoags brought deer to share. One of the first colonies in the New World, Massachusetts, was also the grounds for the first protests against British rule and the battles of the Revolutionary War. Citizens of Boston protested the Stamp Act of 1765, the first tax levied on Americans by the British, and the 1767 Townshend Acts, which taxed goods coming into the colonies, culminating in the 1770 Boston Massacre. The 1773 Boston Tea Party, when colonists dumped hundreds of chests of tea imported from England into the Boston Harbor, was perhaps the most famous of these political protests. The British retaliated with the 1774 Intolerable Acts, which was mainly intended to punish the Massachusetts colony. Throughout the 19th century, Boston grew into a thriving industrial and port city. The city's many shoe and textile factories attracted immigrants, mainly from Ireland and then Italy. Now it's time for some fun facts about these two states. The Hartford Courant, established in 1764, is the nation's oldest continually published newspaper. The chocolate chip cookie was reportedly invented in 1930 at the Toll House restaurant in Whitman, Massachusetts. In 1997, it was the designated official cookie of the Commonwealth. The origins of the Frisbee began at Yale University in Connecticut in 1871, when students threw pie pans from the Frisbee Pie Company for fun. Volleyball was invented in Holyoke, Massachusetts in 1895 by William G. Morgan, the director of a local Young Men's Christian Association, or YMCA. Thank you everyone for watching today's episode of Pearl's Barkhives. Remember to like, follow, and share this video so all your friends can join in on the fun. You can also become part of the Barkhives by becoming a sponsor or leaving a comment telling us a neat fact of history. See you next time. Pearl out!